107.9 FM. Hello, folks. Spencer Duby here live in the studio, and I'm with the literal man, myth, legend, Gavin Michael Booth. You know him. He's done so much, and right now we're here to talk about, he took this project on ever so kindly, Radio Renaissance, all about us, CKBG. Gavin, how are you doing today, man? It is great to see you.
I'm super good. It's beautiful outside. WIF opens in a couple days. Like there's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just a little nervous for it to walk down the little red carpet there and then watch myself on TV. It's something that you've come accustomed to over the years. If you are in one of your own films or you're just making it, you're like, I'm the mastermind behind that. And you're the mastermind behind this. You're one of the producers. You're the director. It's incredible. Where do I even begin? What was it like working on something like this that's, so close to home for you?
Yeah, so Radio Renaissance, Amherstburg's new wave, is about, spoiler alert, this radio station, CKBG, the Berg. It was interesting. It's actually a 6-part documentary series for Bell 5 TV1, which people will be able to watch at home soon enough. But it's cut together as a 90-minute feature film for WIF, and we get to be the opening night film this year, which is awesome, which is this Thursday, October 23rd, 8:30 p.m. Tickets available. Show up. If you love the town of Amherstburg, if you love supporting local, if you want to see a really interesting story, get there. But it came about because I had previously done a series for Bell called The Boo Crew, about Scarehouse Windsor and about how the people run it there. And they have this regional funding that's opened up over the last several years and just access that. And they were looking for stories specifically about Amherstburg. I said, well, I know Deanna at the radio station. I know that it just opened. I knew Marty, who had given me advice early in my career. And I just thought it's such a quirky, weird, strange thing to open an over-the-air radio station in 2023 when everything's going digital, everything's going online. And I just, out of hometown pride and just wanted to do something, I think there's a really interesting story to tell here.
Absolutely, there is. I mean, we kind of thought radio was dying. I think it has a resurgence, and I don't want to, toot our own horn here at CKBG, but I think a lot of people looked at this. Okay, so this isn't owned by any media company. It's, independently owned, and they're making waves. They've won a couple of awards. The people like it. The town's taken to it. Maybe radio isn't exactly dying, something like that.
I think community radio is incredibly important. A lot of communities just have the big conglomerate stations. They don't have localized news and sports and updates and student programs like here. And I just thought that would be really interesting to shine a light on. And I think, often you shoot a documentary and you don't know exactly where it's going to go until you get into the edit. And just the more that I shaped the edit and listened to people's interviews and was assembling the thing, it really is about the heart of Amherstburg and the fact that the community embraced this station so well. And you can just see the impact that it has on promoting local businesses, local charities and nonprofits, local organizations, student events and community events. And you just really see the importance of it. I didn't have to, you can be manipulative with a documentary in terms of how you phrase things together. Didn't have to do anything. Just let everybody talk and you see the excitement and the passion. And I think, even for yourself, you're in this, you're all over this thing, but your story of how you got hired here, which we'll save until people see it on Thursday, is incredible. It just doesn't happen like that. And it's just one of those very unique stories. And I thought it would be, just super awesome to tell.
I mean, thinking back on it, that story, obviously, we'll save it. Just the opportunities that have come, the people that I've met like yourself and, the countless others that have come through here, because we had only ever met once previously, and that's, you didn't even remember that, which totally fine, totally understandable. It was 10 years at the time, so I don't expect you to remember, especially when you're going literally halfway across North America every other weekend. It seems like this, that it's a docu-series. Do you find it's probably easier in terms of special effects to edit, but each episode, do you find it was just so much longer to edit everything compared to a movie?
I always think, because a movie, you're following a script and the exact, if it's a Lego kit, all the shots that you went out and shot are the bricks. And then you've got the instruction book, which is the script. And with the documentary, you don't have that. Your script is the questions that you're asking people, and you're keeping sort of a paper copy of all of the conversations and starting to think about how to arrange these things. But really it's an open road of how it could be edited, especially when you're looking at a 6-episode structure. You know, the episodes are short. They're 15 to 20 minutes, and you just have to really listen to what people are saying and start to think, oh, okay, Spencer said this here in this interview, and then we have Deanna saying this over here, and then a town councilor like Lyndon said this here. And you just have to go, okay, these are 3 things that complement each other or are opposite views of points. And you just start structuring it together. And there's a lot of what I thought was going to be episode 2 ended up being episode 5 and vice versa. You kind of just keep shaping and shaping and shaping. And I think you have to be open as a filmmaker and an editor in the documentary process to kind of go where the story goes. If you get too pigeonholed into this is what it's going to be, then you're not going to discover the best way to tell the story.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty more to talk about, folks. Gavin and I are going to take a break. I got to pick Gavin's brain when we come back from this, his whole process behind this. Where did he start? Where did he go? Where did he finish? We'll learn all about it. We're very excited for this. Radio Renaissance. We'll be right back here on the Berg. Hey folks, 107.9 FM's Midday Music and More show. Spencer Duby here in the studio with Gavin Michael Booth talking all about Radio Renaissance, Amherstburg's New Wave, the docuseries, which is having its premiere this Thursday at the Windsor International Film Festival, 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait. Gavin, this is like, you know, you're the mastermind behind this. You pretty much had like full control, and we were talking off air. Bell gives the final cut. How was it working with them?
Bell's awesome. Bell 5, TV1 are awesome. You know, it's community programming. They have regions across a huge chunk of Canada. All kinds of content gets made because of that. So a lot of people get to make their first TV show, get to make their sort of sample version of a cooking show to try to pitch somewhere else. You know, I know you've had them in here on the air. Ken Amlin and the team at Strange Tales of the South Shore get to tell ghost stories of the area. You know, we got to expose the Boo Crew and Scarehouse Windsor to the rest of Canada and hopefully help boost tourism for them. Six Langman and Spinning Stories got to talk about all the local record shops. It's really incredible that there is this sort of funding that's mandated by the government that companies have to spend to create television here. So outside of that, the people there, Paul and John, are just awesome to work with because they're creatives as well. And they give you a lot of creative freedom. And, you know, it's like any boss in any studio structure, filmmaking or producer structure, they can give notes and chime in, but their notes are excellent and they just want to help you shape the product into the best possible thing. And when they're doing a couple hundred shows a year or whatever it is, they know their stuff. They know what works. They know what doesn't work. They understand what works for their audience. And, you know, you just respect and embrace those notes and you'll find a better version of the product.
Yeah, and so you do have a great relationship with them, which fantastic.
It's been good.
Fantastic. Keep it up, obviously, and who knows what else you can try and show for this area, right?
Yeah,
people get more exposed to Windsor Essex County. That's great. Whatever we can highlight, right? And you're one of the ones. You're one of the masterminds behind that, and you have a great way of telling stories. So, and I'm really, you know, I'm nervous for it on Thursday, but I'm excited to see the way that you did this. Which clips are going to be from where? Did you try and keep everything in order from the timeline, like when it started in what would that have been, like the spring, I guess, of 2024 all the way until the spring of this year? Or did you go out of place a little bit with certain shots? Yeah,
it's definitely out of order because it's about telling the story in, you know, we have an episode that focuses on the student involvement and community involvement. We have an episode that focuses on just the origin of the station, how it came together, and all the effort and work that Marty Adler put into, going to the CRTC and getting the license and making everything happen and finding this space. We have an episode that is kind of solely dedicated to the people that work here, yourself included. I think it's important for people to know that are listening right now that most of the folks at the station haven't seen the documentary, so they don't even know what it looks like until premiere night. So I'm excited to see, your reaction and everybody else at the station, and see if they feel that we did the station justice, and did you and what you represent for the community justice.
Well, if it's made by you, we already know it's going to be great.
So thank you.
So, how much, that being said, stuff is shot out of order, which totally fine. I like the process. I want to see, what you were thinking where and why you put this there and this one there. Mm-hmm. What was that like, the back and forth? Was it a little annoying, or was it all right to go back? Okay, this is from, we shot this on, June 2nd, 2024, and we're putting it in an episode that's basically like the 5th episode. What was that like, to have to go pick something all the way back and bring it up, or vice versa?
Yeah, it's interesting being my own editor that I do generally keep a good recall of what was shot, what was said, so I can always think about clips to pull in. I'll say one of the biggest things on this project is having community help from other videographers, like Mike Chase of Windsor aerial drone photography. I needed some great drone shots of the town of Amherstburg, and didn't really have the budget to kind of do it myself. So calling on people like that are experts at drone photography and drone videography and already had the material. He's got these gorgeous shots of the water tower with the radio tower on top of it, the antenna. He's got beautiful shots of the waterfront and Boblo Island and everything. So Tourism Windsor Essex, the town here, Amherstburg's tourism, also helped us out with access to photos and video clips that they had, which are an amazing help, because that's sometimes the thing about a documentary is you're looking for material that you can't possibly have shot because it already happened, or it's from the past. Say, for example, Marty's early career with the CBC. That was footage we had to access from the CBC and make sure we include in there. So finding all that archive footage. But in terms of editing, I love editing, because to me it's where the story really comes together. And I only frustrate myself at having more ideas. Of like, oh, I want to try this. It's like, well, the clock is ticking, that deadline's approaching, but I just can't get it out of my head. I gotta try it. I'm gonna take the time to rearrange it and see if this other path works, knowing that you can always go back to what you had before. That's the great thing about digital editing. It's just copy, save, undo buttons, works the same as a word processor or anything else.
And what was the final part that you edited, without giving away too much? Was it something from last year? Was it something from this year?
Well, I saved the last episode and sort of the finale of how everything comes together and is summarized. I specifically left that till the end because I wanted the way that the other episodes flowed and the way that the story flowed to inform how I would wrap that up and what was the best way to sort of conclude the entire series or documentary, and just make sure that had a bit of a punch and kind of left everybody on a feel good note. So I had some specific clips that I thought I'll just put these over here for now. I think they might be in the end, but it's usually like the final processes are about finding the music that's going to go under it to really kind of like, music to me is the glue of any film or documentary that just cements things and like helps build in the emotion that you hope to like draw out of people without being pandering or being manipulative. Just finding the right music just to pair with anything. That's usually the final step of editing.
Well, Gavin, I don't know how many times I could say it. I'm excited for the film. I'm just a little nervous to get out in front of, who knows how many people are going to be at this event. I'm sure a lot, because a lot of people knew Marty. I'm sure people that are near Marty's age are going to go to this just to, support, his family and whatnot, and his final project, whatnot. They could have worked with him from CBC to Pass, Channel 4 in Detroit, whatever the case may be. So I'm nervous about the people part, but I'm so excited to see what you did with this, because you're a great editor. You're a great filmmaker. I can't wait.
I'll say this. If you're not there, you're missing out. If you're not there at WIF, if you've never been to WIF before, make this your first event. If you live in Amherstburg, come out and watch this documentary. It's not just about the radio station. It's about the town. It's about the town that maybe you grew up in if you're from Amherstburg. It's about the town that you moved to and have embraced and loved. It's about what a community looks like, what a small town's community is supposed to look like. Amherstburg has that in spades, and I think we've showcased that really well. And I think you'll just see a lot of familiar faces and places by watching the doc. And although you can watch it on TV, what's better than celebrating the premiere? We're one of the opening night films at WIF this year. That's a huge honor to be selected, and I think it's just going to be a great time. And it's a show about it's a screening about community. Be with your community and come see it, and tell everyone you know to come see it as well.
Gavin, you summarized that perfectly. Literally, there's so many different places that we shot too, other than just here. So you might see yourself, you might see a family member, a friend, your business, someone you know's business. It's Amherstburg on the big screen. It's not just all about us. It's Amherstburg, like you said, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, and Spencer the Legend Duby is going to be there. So he's going to bring a Sharpie, so you don't need to carry your own. He'll be signing autographs after the screening in the lobby of the Capitol Theater.
I mean, everybody's going to be there. Doc Morris will be there signing. Marcus Pez Passeri, he's going to be there as well. Greg Adler, Deanna, yourself. Is your wife going to be there?
She should be. She's scheduled to go out of town to film on a TV series, but it looks like the dates have changed, so it looks like she'll be able to attend after all.
Yes. Get your tickets now. Seriously. They are selling fast. So if you don't have them by now, you might want to call WIF or go on their website, Windsor International Film Festival.ca.
Yep, and it's Radio Renaissance, Amherstburg's New Wave, 8:30 p.m. This Thursday, October 23rd. Be there. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome.
Exactly. Be there or literally be square. Gavin Michael Booth, always I love telling this story, folks, because, nostalgia trips in. My early introduction to Gavin was How Many Days, the old YouTube series that he put out. And I remember watching that. I'm like, this guy's making Amherstburg, kind of famous. Like people are watching this. It's unbelievable. So it's kind of a full circle moment. Like the time is coming, from me as a 13-year-old watching you. And now we're going to a, movie premiere together. So unbelievable.
I could call the series How Many Years now, but I think, that was the early days of YouTube. I was one of their original vloggers that was doing a daily vlog. So it's funny that you had seen that all those years ago, but here we are.
Here we are.
In a documentary that we worked on together. Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely wild. Donna Mancini says hello too.
Amazing. I love Donna.
She talked to me for like an hour and a half.
Is she coming?
I think so. Hopefully.
She was the drama teacher at General Amherst when I was there. So, and her husband Serge have supported the local film scene and the art scene forever. It would be wonderful to see them.
They absolutely have. Hopefully they will be there. Otherwise, we're calling you Miss Mancini. Gavin Michael Booth, thank you so much, man. It is always great to see you and just chat with you. Such an easy talk and a great time.
Thank you. I'll see you Thursday night.
Yes, see you Thursday.